Hello and welcome to week 13 of NFL Gamepicks. Man, oh man, the season is flying. I don't know what to do with my hands. So he's trying to put up 1-3. The season's flying by. It's Thanksgiving week and lots of action ahead of us. And funny enough, all three of our teams are playing on Thanksgiving, which is pretty insane. Wouldn't have really thought about it until now when we were talking about the games today, so that's pretty cool. But I'll kick us off. Well, Week 12 wasn't the end-all, be-all of the Dolphins season, but they did get a big win against the New England Patriots. Swept the Patriots on the season. So was undefeated against the Patriots. It's bittersweet beating that team, but
I know that.
man, it's not what the Dolphins want to be exactly at. I hate to sound like a pessimist, but big game coming up, and we'll get to Joey in a sec, but that game is going to be very telling of what this Dolphins team is capable of. I would say they've had a couple cupcake games leading into this, so going into this week, short week, on the road, cold game, not really in Dolphins' favor, not making excuses, just pointing out the facts right now. And let's see how they go. So without ado, let's go to Joey and see what he has to say about that.
Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see what's going on. I know it's going to be very cold on Thanksgiving, and we'll get to the whole matchup here in a second. But, we are coming off a really big W against the San Francisco 49ers. That was pretty cool. My mom was saying, I was watching the game with my family, and she was like, oh, it's really nice to not watch or to watch a Packers game that's not very stressful anymore. I was like, yeah, and then we let George Kittle score, and it was like a 10-point game before halftime, and Christian Watson dropped a walk-in touchdown, and I was like, we're just going to jinx ourselves, and we're going to somehow lose this game, but we pulled it out. Josh Jacobs scored 3 touchdowns, had his turkey a little bit early before Thanksgiving. Hopefully he has some more on Thanksgiving. It would be pretty cool.
There we go.
Excited. Chrissy?
Yeah, another tough week for the boy. That's why I'm in all black right now. Season's dead right now. We're definitely filling up the bingo card on ways to lose in this 5-game losing streak. I mean, we've lost from a overtime loss to a blocked field goal to a Hail Mary. Doing it all, so I think we're going to come back and maybe win this game. Eberflus is like in lifetime and 1-score games now, so that's fucking great. But Caleb is keeping us in the game, so it's always good to see, he's not the issue now. We definitely look better since we fired Shane Waldron, so that part's looking better, but, yeah, I don't know. We're going to look back at these games at the end of the year and really kick ourselves in the butts because we should have won at least a few of these, especially against bad teams like the Cardinals and Patriots. It's bad.
I definitely feel like that is probably the worst feeling is just losing those close games and having those games block kick, Hail Mary. What was the other one you said?
Just overtime loss.
Yeah, overtime loss. Yeah, it's just those are just bad beats as a team. It's just very unfortunate for you.
But he's making. I mean, if you watch the game, he kept us in that game. He brought us back. Sure. He did kind of lose us the game in overtime with a bad sack. But I mean, he's a rookie. You're gonna have stuff like that happen with the rookie quarterback, as we've seen with Bo Nix and Jaden Daniels and Drake May. Same thing. But yeah, it's just a tough look. I mean. The bright side is, this is going to be one of the deepest coaching markets in a long, long time. There's going to be probably 15 to 20 really good candidates for head coaches this season. So we're going to fire this guy, Eberflus, and hopefully land somebody better. But we'll see.
All right. Without further ado, I'll take us to the standings. And we still got Steve on top. He's just having a dominating season. He has an 8-game lead between him and second place. He has 128 wins. 51 losses, and then in second place we got Hecty at 120 and 59. Following him, we have a 2-way tie between third place, between G-Dog and Edwin. They're both at 119 and 60 on the season. And then where are you at, Chris? You're in 5th place.
Yeah, I had a rough week. I went 7-6 last week, so I'm at 115 and 64. I'm tied at 5th with my boy Sean. So shout out Sean. Hopefully Bucks get a win for you this week.
A little further down the list, I'm in 8th place with a 108 to 71 record. Last couple of weeks have been in my favor. We hit a bad stretch pretty early on in the season. It set me back. But 9-4 last week was not the worst week of all. So let's just live with that for now. What about you, Joey? Where you at?
Dead last. Dead last. 8-5 on the week though. Last week wasn't bad. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. It's that damn 0-15 week, bro. It's just anchoring me down.
At the end of the season, we're gonna adjust your score with your proper selections for that week.
Watch out, everybody else, because I'm gonna come shooting right back up after that. I bet I went.
Not enough.
I went 15-0 that week.
You better hope.
Ain't no freaking way.
What are you talking about, bro? That was 15-0.
If you go 15-0, you're still in 7th place.
It's better than
still
12.
higher than Doug Wright.
Yeah, you picked better than my mom and dad.
Yeah, right.
All right.
Well, that's 2 people, bro. Shit.
Yep. Well, this week is Thanksgiving, and without further ado, Chris will lead us off with the first Thanksgiving game.
Boom.
What do we got?
We got the Chicago Bears taking on the Detroit Lions. It's going to be a great game. It's going to be a fun time at my house. So a lot of back and forth with some of my family here. I'm going to be the lone guy to take the Bears. It looks like everybody else is going with the Lions so far. We've lost 5 in a row. Detroit's lost a couple Thanksgiving games back to back. I think they're on like a 10-game win streak or 9-game win streak. This would be 10 maybe. Something like that. Hopefully we end it, cool them off a little bit. But I think we might blow out to the losing bingo card here. So I'm a little worried it might be like a 55-20 game or something.
Honestly, dude.
We'll see. It's Thanksgiving. It's going to be close.
Thanksgiving. The Lions should be losing this game, right? I don't think so. There's a full moon. Not a waxing gibbous. We're good this year. Lions are going to take a W. I know they normally don't win on Thanksgiving. But I will be cheering for the Bears like I did last week against the Vikings. They didn't come through for me last week. They almost did. They had me. And I had to watch overtime and miss the freaking Packers' first scoring drive, which is kind of annoying. And I didn't even get the result I wanted. But
Nice.
Hopefully, Chicago wins this game. Gets a little momentum win. Personally, last year, we were not having a great season, and we beat the crap out of the Lions on Thanksgiving. And it sparked a whole playoff run that we would kind of have. So maybe that does the same thing for the Bears. You never know. Who you are at this point is not who you are at the end of the year, I will say. So, yeah, I'm hoping Detroit takes this L, but, yeah, this might honestly be a blowout.
Yeah, it's tough. You know, the Bears have been taking pretty bad blows this whole season, but this Lions team is too good, and I think they start to shift some things in this cursed area of Detroit. So give me those Detroit Lions. You know, I don't know if you guys have ever seen that video of Peyton Manning lifting the curse of Night Train Lane for the Detroit Lions.
Yeah, for the Peyton's Places.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, you know, things have turned around since then. So that Detroit Lions squad is, you know, they're one of those teams that play on Thanksgiving every year, same as this next team we're about to talk about. But it's tough for this Bears team. I wish they could get a win here, just for Chris's sake, because, you know, went from 4-2 to now 4-7, which I think is absolutely tough. And, like, the fashion of these losses, it's very, very hard to, like, fathom. I don't know if you want to, you know, cap that off real quick.
Yeah, it's just Dweeberflus. That's all I have to say. Dude sucks.
All right. I'll keep us moving I'll keep us moving to the 4:30 game. We have the New York Giants versus the Dallas Cowboys. Not gonna take too long on this one. This one's a bit of a stinker. But Dallas got a surprising win last week, and Tommy DeVito is calling out the entire Giants staff after they released Daniel Jones, and now he's QB1. He's like, we're practicing like we're a number 1 seed when, you know, we're probably the worst team in the entire NFL. Like, what are we doing here? So I don't know if that fires up the guys. I have a little bit more faith in the Dallas Cowboys. It's a tough one. I'm going to split the hairs here and go with the home team. Give me the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah, I think Dallas made this game a little bit more interesting with the win last week. I'm not too sure what's going on there. Like, Cooper Rush actually didn't look too bad as a backup, so hopefully he comes in and gets a nice Thanksgiving win here for Dallas fans, because you know how they are whenever their team's not winning. It's not great, but I don't have a bunch of faith in them But yeah, I mean, Giants just released Daniel Jones. He's already talking to other teams. Tommy DeVito is probably not going to make any other teams' rosters in general. It's just a bad look. So I'm going to go ahead and take, I guess, the Dallas Cowboys at home to get a win on Thanksgiving, which I feel like they kind of tend to do. So yeah, what do you think, Joey?
What I think is I'm making the friggin' antipost around this time that this game is going to kick off. And if you don't think the gabagool and all the prosciutto and the mozzarella getting to me is not going to make me pick Tommy DeVito and the New York Giants on frickin' Thanksgiving, you're dreaming. I'm picking the New York Giants here. I think both these teams suck, so I might as well go with the family faithful. We'll probably be cheering for the Giants at this house, at my house. My grandma will be over, so that'll be kind of cool, and she's a Giants fan, and we all hate Dallas, even though we're Packers fans, kind of a rival there, and my grandma's a Giants fan. So collectively, all fuck the Dallas Cowboys. So I'm going with Tommy DeVito. Hopefully he can throw one of these up and it won't be Baker Mayfield this time. But I'll take us to the next game. Yeah, man. We got Austin's Miami Dolphins coming to Lambeau Field in a 33-degree night with 20-degree wind chill to face off against the 8-3 Packers, man, on Thanksgiving, the 8:30 game. And let me tell you, easy pick here. I'm going with the Packers. I don't want to say it's going to be an easy win, but it's an easy pick for me. Don't get it twisted. We haven't been looking like ourselves recently. Jordan Love's been looking like a shell of what he was last year. Aside from the run game, offensively, I'm starting to get panic attacks every time I see this guy drop back. And I'm just starting to not trust where the ball's going, and that's kind of a problem. Hopefully we kind of start to figure it out, but it's getting late in the season, and we kind of look like we're starting to fade out a little bit more than kind of rise to the occasion in a way. It's kind of hard to say that because we are 8-3, and Jacobs had 3 touchdowns last week. We blowout win. I know all that, but Jordan Love he's thrown a pick in every game, and he probably should have threw 2 picks against the 49ers. Hasn't been looking great. Miami's coming in. They're not great in cold weather. I understand that whole narrative. So hopefully that plays into a factor. Last cold weather game we hosted did not end well for us. It was almost an embarrassment. So a lot of redemption on our side too. Big thing I'm looking forward to, hopefully, is if the Packers win this game, Jordan Love will finally get his turkey leg because Greg Olsen ate his turkey leg last year's Thanksgiving because he cut into the turducken and thought he was cute. And ruined Jordan Love's Thanksgiving Day moment. So hopefully he gets a new one. So we'll see what happens there. But what do you think's going on there, Dolphins super fan?
Jordan Love is not getting a turducken leg. The prime time slot for Thursday Thanksgiving football. I mean, you can't ask for a better, just matchup, and it's so cool. Like just when our teams are facing off, like when they put them in these like big time moments. Yeah,
it's
like
Christmas last year. Right?
Yeah, 2 years ago.
2 years ago was Christmas. I think 4 years before that it was the Veterans Day weekend. Like so, it was just like it's always like been like something around like that. Dude, I want them to beat these cold weather allegations. I want specifically Tua to do it, especially after he's out here talking like bring it on. Like I want it to be colder. If Mike McDaniel's at practice and he's wearing I wish it were colder t-shirts, like I wouldn't be surprised. But kind of slid away from that narrative last year in terms of like, just having that type of mentality. I kind of hope he brings it back. I don't know. We'll see what happens. The Dolphins, like what Joey was saying, he thinks that the Packers are kind of like fading out a little bit, and the Dolphins right now are in the complete opposite right now. They're rising up and they're just stacking these wins, and each week it seems like they're performing even better on both sides of the ball. So I think the Dolphins get a win here. I would love to see a Thanksgiving Miami Dolphins win. Man, but it's going to be tough. This Green Bay Packers team is no joke, like Joey said. There's phases of this Packers team that are ascending and then other areas that are kind of going down. So, like, if Jordan Love throws a pick, I hope the Dolphins capitalize off of it because, like, don't waste that turnover that just got, like, pretty much given to you, right?
He responds well from him usually.
Facts.
But yeah, it's just... Yeah.
I just hope the Dolphins respond well in that sense. Like, you get that ball, you make sure you go down the field and you score it. So I don't want this offense to falter in a big-time moment like this. I think the defense will be okay. I think they're going to give up some points. This is probably the toughest team they've played since they started winning. So, but shout out to the Rams. That team was tough as well.
Yeah, this one's tough for me. I have no dog in the race except for 2 of my buddies over here. But No, I mean, both teams are coming off convincing wins last week, where kind of blowout fashion after they've been kind of up and down. So if they were playing like a different team, I'd probably take both of these teams against mostly anybody else, just based off the fashion in which they won last week. I guess give me the home team. I don't believe in the Dolphins in the cold right now. Honestly, I'm kind of getting to the point where I'm out on Mike McDaniel, bro. I know he's kind of had some card stacks against him with Tua being hurt, a lot of defense being hurt, but he's just too arrogant sometimes, and he just always thinks he's the smartest guy in the room, and it's just like, just play football, man. Call the plays, and you don't always have to, like, try to trick Max Crosby into going offsides when you don't even have a play called. Like, come on, man. Like, I don't know. Just make it simple. Win the game. I'm going to take the Packers here.
Yeah, that clip was a little crazy. He's like, yeah. Let's act like I got something cooked up. I got nothing fucking cooked up.
Yeah. I don't even have a play.
I have absolutely nothing cooked up.
Crosby's just like, what the hell? Why would you have a play?
You think I'm looking at your scrawny little ass, bro? Get out of here.
I think that was like one of those like moments that end of the quarter, play clock's expiring, and you just want to try to get them to jump.
Yeah.
Right on.
But aside from that, the Dolphins are wearing their all-white throwbacks. Does that change your mind in the slightest?
They're wearing their all-white throwbacks.
If it starts to snow,
they're going to blend in with the
maybe,
frozen tundra?
yeah. I don't know. It might make it harder for Tua to see. These wide receivers, I don't
most
know.
Florida mentality thing I've ever heard. There is no precipitation predicted. I'm just gonna let you know. It will not snow. It's gonna snow.
How am I supposed
No, I'm not saying for you. I'm just saying the Dolphins wearing the all-white uniforms. I'm like, these motherfuckers think it's gonna snow. It's just gonna be really windy and cold.
Probably.
All right, I'm gonna keep us moving. For the second year in a row, they've been doing the Black Friday game. So this is the new iteration of the Black Friday game.
Gross.
It is the Las Vegas Raiders at the Kansas City Chiefs.
It's gonna suck again.
Raiders stink. There are rumors of them signing Daniel Jones. Let's see if that's the case. I think that would be an interesting move for them, given the fact that they don't see a future of Aiden O'Connell / he's injured, and like that's been unfortunate for him. Gardner Minshew is not the future for Las Vegas.
He's hurt.
You could pivot to Daniel Jones and possibly cash in on, a highly drafted quarterback. On the flip side, Kansas City, they each and every week they look so freaking beatable. How do you go wire to wire with the Carolina Panthers? That's insane to me. But I will give Bryce Young some kudos, and I'll talk more about him when we get to that Tampa Bay game. But Bryce Young looks a lot better than how the season started. So I'll just say that. But yeah, just give me this Kansas City Chiefs team. They're way too good to lose against the Las Vegas Raiders over here.
Yeah, I'm going to make it easy. I'm going to take the Chiefs as well. I don't know what the NFL's doing with this game. I feel like nobody watched it last year because you're all doing your shopping or you're playing with your family and kids and stuff like that. Like, you're not watching football at 3 o'clock in the afternoon on a Friday, Black Friday, So I don't really know what they're doing. That's not very interesting. What is interesting is what you brought up is Daniel Jones possibly signing with one of these teams. Did you see the 4 teams he said?
No, what teams?
It was
Dolphins.
Dolphins was one. Raiders was one. Ravens was
Niners.
one. And the Niners was the other one. So those are 4 interesting teams. Somebody already reached out and he said no. I forget which team that was.
The Jets.
No,
I'm just kidding.
It wasn't the Jets, but somebody whose quarterback got hurt. I forget who it was, but it would be interesting if he made the move to Las Vegas. I don't know why you would go there. They're gonna fire that head coach. You have no wideouts. It would be a bad look.
The only reason I say it's a good move is that there's no expectations there, so you can go out there and ball, and if you at least show some decency, even if it's for just the remainder of the season, you're not coming back with Vegas, you're getting yourself a job elsewhere. So that's the hindsight. And then one quick thing about your mindset of the timing of the game. So Black Friday, right? People go and shop mad early. So this is technically a prime time game for these people who stayed up super early or late.
I feel like they don't do that morning stuff as much anymore.
Not
I feel
as
like
much.
it's just all day. Just come and get it all.
We'll be buying that shit online.
Yeah, like that too. I don't know. It's a holiday. I don't know. It's a weird placement for me. I'm not going to watch this game. I'll be at work.
What are we doing? This game is...
This game
The
sucks.
whole ideology of Black Friday game is fucking stupid. I think it's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Last year's game sucked, and this game's going to suck too. Kansas City's going to kick the shit out of the fucking Vegas Raiders on this game. And that's all I'm going to say. Moving on. Arizona is traveling to Minnesota on the first game of Sunday. This is the first game of Sunday. I just trashed Black Friday.
You got it.
Yeah.
Arizona's traveling to Minnesota. I need Arizona to win this game. I don't think they will. I think their loss against Seattle last week was very telling. They didn't really look like themselves. Maybe they have a good comeback win here. I need them to beat Minnesota because Minnesota has not been looking like themselves recently either. They've had a couple explosive plays, but they really let Chicago come back in that game. And I don't know. It's just it's a lot of the same vibe, kind of how I feel about the Packers, where they're doing very well, but from their start of getting hot to the start of the season to now, it's a little bit not the same team. So I'm going to rock with the Cardinals here. Scratch that, reverse it. Rocking with the Vikings here. Cheering for the Cardinals, though.
I was gonna say I disagree with you, and I'll tell you why. Because I think O'Connell deserves to be the coach of the year. I think he deserves to be the coach of the year by far so far. Sam Darnold, he's not seeing ghosts anymore. They're winning games. The Bears' game plan last week against the Vikings was to obviously not let Justin Jefferson win the game. He only had 2 catches. One of them came in overtime. And Jordan Addison beat us. Hawkinson beat us. They're finding ways to win. You're taking away their biggest weapon. And this coach is still getting things done with Sam Darnold, who everybody ruled out at the start of the season. And this team's 9-2, about to be 10-2 after they beat the Cardinals.
I don't disagree with you guys. I'm going to go with the Minnesota Vikings. Did you guys see what the Seahawks posted after they beat the Cardinals last week? It was like a mimic of like Call of Duty, and it was like double XP week, and it was like them. They shot like the Cardinal and stuff, and Kyler's just there like with his pizza, and he's like, I need some ranch, which people are roasting him on the internet for.
The joke is so dead too.
Oh no, facts.
They were waiting on that. It's like, haha, you got us.
Yeah, they had been sitting on that. They're like, oh, we're playing the Cardinals this week. I got this cooked up, baby.
Or 2 ago.
I should have known, dude. Seahawk would kick a Cardinals ass, bro. And I picked against it, dude.
So I saw this list, and it showed like the hierarchy of animals in the NFL, and like the Dolphins were last.
Jeez, we need that like a poster. Right here.
Have you never seen the other guys where they talk about dolphins and stuff? Like,
if I were a lamb and you were a tuna?
Yeah, like the tuna conversation.
It's about the ocean to freaking eat you.
Yeah.
Then I bang your tuna girlfriend.
It might not be a week, might not be a month, maybe a year, 2 years. We
developed a system.
We developed a system, breathing apparatuses. Yeah. Now me and 50 of my dolphin friends roll up on some of you. So you never know, Austin. You might have an argument there.
Well, like, in terms of the list, it was like a bunch of like birds, lions, and like jaguars, stuff like that, right? Like those were the top ones. And then all the way at the bottom was the dolphin, because like they can't really compete with anyone outside of the water, and like they just thought it was soft. Either way, I'm taking the Minnesota Vikings. They look good, not so great. You know, some games it feels like they're just like winning solely off of Brian Flores' defense. Other games, it just looks like, you know, the offense is clicking, and not saying that the defense is doing bad, but like they're just allowing a little bit more points there. Game's moving a little bit faster in that sense. So it's interesting how to follow this game. I think Arizona puts a good fight. I think it's going to be a close one. I think the spread's at Minnesota -3.5. I would probably take the Arizona Cardinals spread on this one if it reaches up to like 4 or 5, +5 on the Arizona Cardinals. I'm going to keep it moving to this AFC South divisional matchup. And some of these people would have touted this one as a good matchup heading into the year, but it's looking very opposite. And it is the Houston Texans at the Jacksonville Jaguars. Houston 7-5, and Jacksonville is 2-9. Jacksonville stinks. Let me get the Houston Texans. But they haven't been so overwhelming. The injuries definitely have taken a toll on this team. So I want to see how they are faring towards the end of the season. And, you know, if they can keep this roll going, I think they're not going to have too much contention for the AFC South. We'll see with one of these upcoming teams we're going to talk about. But they have a firm control of it right now. Let's see how long they can keep it.
I think it's going to be closer than you think, honestly. I still don't know who's playing quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars right now, but Doug Peterson's probably getting fired at the end of the year. I wish I could take the Jags. I have the Blake Bortles hat on right now. I wish I could take y'all, but we'll go with the Texans. Despite them being like the most penalized team in the league right now. That defense kind of sucks outside of Will Anderson, who's a beast. CJ Stroud's definitely in the sophomore slump right now. Hopefully he figures it out. But yeah, he's been inaccurate. He throws the ball away a lot. He's been getting sacked. It's been looking bad for the Texans, who started off the year like 5-1 or something like that. I think kind of just like the Bears did, and now they're following that same path. But I think they'll pick up a win on the road against the Jaguars.
Yeah, Houston's winning this game. Tennessee beat the I don't know, man. It was kind of tough because now watching that game against the Titans last week, they had so many like explosive plays where it's like Tennessee should have like honestly walked away with this game, but they kind of let Houston back into it. And that's kind of weird to say because Houston's 7-5 team now. They were obviously much better going into that game than they are coming out of it. And it's interesting because I didn't think that you can get that many explosive plays on the Texans. And it just seems like a lot of teams are doing that this year to them. But this is a really easy pick for me. This is going to be the Houston Texans. And yeah, I really don't see much going on with the Jags. Kind of sad for Doug Peterson, but I don't know. Maybe he lands in a better situation. I don't know. I think he kind of ruined whatever they had going in Jacksonville, or maybe was a part of it. I don't know. Going into the season, they were one of the most hyped up teams in the AFC. A lot of people were very excited for the Jags, and now they're just 2-9, kind of back to that standard that they were like 10 years ago, where they just kind of suck. Everybody's okay with them sucking as long as it means they get a better draft pick or whatever. Or maybe Travis Hunter will end up on the Jags. We don't know. Currently, they have the number 1 pick, but yeah, easily going with the Texans here.
They're stinking so bad that the car company Jaguar rebranded. They're like, we can't be, we got to rebrand ourselves because everyone's saying Jaguars suck.
Yeah.
And they think they're talking about the cars. They're talking about the freaking football team.
Yeah.
What are we doing here?
They don't even have the Jaguar in the logo anymore.
Yeah,
No.
it's like it's so very modern.
Jaguars sped out.
Yeah, it's very lame.
I hate it.
Who's gonna take us to this next game?
I got you. We got the Indianapolis Colts traveling to New England. This is kind of like that weird rivalry game from. Wasn't this the Deflategate game?
Deflategate, Brady and Manning.
Yeah, that. So Colts fans hate Patriots fans. Patriots fans don't give a shit about Colts fans because they've owned them for a long time. I think that the Colts come out on top this weekend and get a W against the Patriots. I like what I've seen from Drake May so far, but just overall that team's very lame. And Gerard Mayo, right? It's the coach, right?
Yep.
Yeah, I've seen him on the sideline like, oh, look out, heads up. And shouldn't you be coaching the damn game now instead of messing with people? I don't know, maybe that was pregame or whatnot, but yeah, I don't know, not a fan. Maybe they'll get it figured out here in a couple of years, but this is not New England's year at all.
So, after seeing the Patriots in person last week, I will say that Drake May is legit. I've been kind of tooting his horn since he started playing, so I just want to keep on reiterating it. Like, he's a really good player. Once you get him, like, with the necessary talent around him, like, if you can build up the O-line a little bit so he has a little bit more time to throw the football. I think the running game is there, but they shied away from the running game after they started, like, just being in a hole. And then the receivers, obviously, are not up to par in terms of, like, a good NFL offense. That being said, I don't think they beat this Indianapolis Colts team. I think Anthony Richardson coming back has been impactful. It hasn't necessarily fielded a lot of wins, but, a big win against the Jets, it could go a long way. Another team that was just do or die, and, the Colts shut them down. So that's one of those type of wins that, resonates with a team, and they're like, hey, remember when we did that against that team? So I think that can go with them for a while. So I think they're going to keep on rolling off of that. So let me get the Indianapolis Colts here.
I kind of want to fade you guys just maybe hopefully pick up a game. It is a home team, like you said. Drake May is legit. I'm not convinced. I wouldn't want either one of these quarterbacks as my quarterback, and that's saying a lot considering what we've gone through the last few years. I'm confident now, but I guess I'll take the Colts on the road just because I think they're the better team right now, but the New England Patriots could very easily win this game. I'll keep it pushing. We got the Los Angeles Chargers going down to Atlanta to play the Falcons. This is a tough game. Both these teams have been a little hot and cold. I I'm going to go with the Chargers. I've been backing them a lot this year. I'm a Harbaugh guy. I'm a believer in him. Not necessarily a believer in what's going on in Atlanta. They're very up and down, with the Stars especially. So I'm going to take the Chargers on the road. I don't love picking back-to-back road teams, but I guess that's what I'm doing.
For the sake of the Dolphins' playoff positioning, I would love if the Atlanta Falcons won. It's just hard to say which team is going to respond from losing better, because the Los Angeles Chargers, have been one of the hotter teams coming out of the gates in the NFL this season and have had a couple hiccups here and there. But I think last week was just, hey, you played a really tough opponent in the Baltimore Ravens. So, let's not beat ourselves up too much about losing to that team. Luckily, it's the regular season. That count isn't going to destroy, your chance of winning a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. But, this Falcons team was probably one of the hotter teams coming out of the gate as well. And they've cooled down drastically. They've lost 3 of their last 5. And, losing in the fashion that they did to the Denver Broncos is concerning. When you lose and don't surpass double-digit scoring while the other team is about to put up 40 points, that is concerning. The defense is not looking like the defense how the season started off. And the offense, might as well not have gotten off the bus last week. That being said, give me the Atlanta Falcons. I think, 2 losses in a row is something that, they want to right the wrongs and get back in the win column here. So give me the Atlanta Falcons, even though I do think the Chargers also put up a good fight here. It's a tough one. Coin flip for me. Give me the Falcons.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a coin flip. I like both teams this year, but I'm going to go with the Chargers. I really liked what I saw from them in the Harbaugh Bowl on Monday Night Football. That was really cool. They were just not the team that I expected them to be at all this year. Our coworker Jake predicted them to be a very good team this year, and I thought he was delusional. Turns out I was wrong. I really like the Chargers this year. They're a very fun team to watch. I thought their backfield would have took a hit without Austin Eckler being there. Now they have Dobbins and Gus Edwards. I think Dobbins is hurt now, so people are saying that Gus Edwards is going to be the fantasy back this week. I like the Chargers this week, and I like them a lot moving forward in the AFC. I think they're a fun team to watch. Speaking of the AFC, I'll take us to an AFC North divisional matchup. We got the Pittsburgh Steelers, who are 8-3, surprisingly, traveling to Cincinnati, who are surprisingly 4-7. I really like what I'm seeing from the Bengals this year offensively between Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Everything else sucks. Their defense is terrible. It's very easy to score on the Bengals. I think that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to win this game. I don't think it's going to be an easy win for the Steelers. They're probably going to have Boswell kick a game-winning field goal, and maybe they win by not even scoring a touchdown like they did against the Ravens again. But I think that it's going to be very high scoring, especially when you have a duo like Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. They've somehow been, I think Jamar Chase leads the league in yards and touchdowns receptions. Probably, and Joe Burrow, I think, leads the league in touchdown passes, right?
I think yards or something like that.
And then they suck. You know, it's just, I don't know. But you can probably count on that duo to bail you out in fantasy. So I'm going to go with the Pittsburgh Steelers, but I think it's going to be a very high-scoring game. Probably take the over here.
I'm going to fade you. Steelers have won 5 out of the last 6, though. So I'm not confident in this pick. I'm taking Cincy at home. They've lost the last 2. If they lose this game, I'm probably not picking them very much more the rest of the year. Pittsburgh's in, a really weird stretch right now. I think they play, divisional opponents in, 5 out of the next 6 weeks or something like that. So it's going to be very tough. If they drop this game, they play the Browns next week, so got to pick up another game to stay alive in the division. Got a pretty good lead on Cincy right now, so if Cincy doesn't win this game, they're probably done for the year. And like you mentioned, all that talent's just going to waste. I think Trey Hendrickson, not for nothing, is top 3 in sacks right now too. So it's not like the whole defense sucks, but that secondary definitely sucks. They've lost a lot of players and never replaced them. Drafted a couple players, haven't really panned out. The safety from Alabama is kind of mid, so...
Not paying the people that are actually good.
Yeah, and then letting people walk and letting the internet tell you that Eli Apple sucks.
Legit.
He might not have been that bad. I don't know. He's better than what you have, I think. I don't know. That's true. Yeah, so I'm going to take Cincy. Not confident in the pick, but am looking forward to this game. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
I am kind of torn here because, Cincinnati, their record is bad, right? 4-7. They've only lost one of those games by more than a single possession. Like, it's all close games.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't been able to close out these games. Can you imagine a 7-4 Cincinnati Bengals? We'll be talking a whole different story.
Yep.
They should be 7-4.
Yeah, exactly. Like, if you win half of those close games, you're 7-4, and we're talking about a playoff contending team, all that stuff. Not the Bengals starting off horrible and all that stuff. Like, they're a good team. Can they put it together and really like sucker punch this Pittsburgh team who, you know, dropped the stunner last week on Thursday Night Football against Jameis Winston and his winter wonderland? You know, so like, are we going to you know, falter on this Pittsburgh team? I don't know. Like, Russ was not connecting well with the guys. Does that continue for multiple weeks? The running game wasn't going good. That's one thing that you alluded to. Like, if Hubbard is on his game, I think he could help stifle that run game and really help this Bengals team lead them to a win. So give me the Cincinnati Bengals. I had some chili today for dinner, and I'm feeling myself a little bit. It wasn't Skyline. But still, it was some chili.
The vibes are there.
The vibes are there. So I got the Bengals here. It's going to be a tough one, though. The Steelers are good, but the Bengals may come out on top on this one and shake the playoff picture up quite a bit. I'm going to keep us moving, though, to a little bit less of a relevant matchup. We have the Seattle Seahawks at the New York Jets, and Jets are dead. You know, their planes on the tarmac. And the Seattle Seahawks, they're soaring, they're flying. I think they're the leaders of the NFC West right now at 6-5, which is crazy to say because, you know, a lot of these teams have a close-knit record, and they're all battling out, duking it out for that NFC West spot. And all of them are just going to be fighting to the bitter end because they're all going to be floating around 500 by the season's over. But Seattle gets a nice win here. I do think New York challenges them, but at the end of the day, the Seahawks team is going to overpower them, overwill them. They have more to play for right now. But the Jets can be spoilers all throughout the rest of the season, so that's just something to look out for with that New York Jets team.
Yeah, they're never going to give up, especially when you have Aaron Rodgers back there who's just a little snake in the grass. He's just going to probably try to, you know, ruin a season every time he can and try to get as memorable of a moment as he can with the Jets while he still has time in his NFL career. I know he's saying on the Pat McAfee show today. Yeah, he said it today. We're filming this on a Tuesday, so today. He said that he doesn't really know if he wants to come back next year, but if he did, his number one priority option would be to play for the Jets. I don't know what to say. I think Aaron Rodgers' career should just be over, and he should hang it up and not ruin any type of legacy that he had before his Jets career, because I'd like to see him come back to Green Bay and retire as a Packer, not as a one-day contract, just be done with it and, live on in infamy and get your, go into Canton and do that whole thing, because I'm tired of the ruining of the legacy. But, yeah, I'm easily going to go with the Seahawks here. Jet is dead, baby. Whose bike is this? It's Jet. Who's Jet? Jet's dead, baby.
Quick question, Joey. What do you guys do for, honored Packer players? You guys give them,
We put them in the Ring of Honor.
But do you guys do, a golden cheese head or something?
No, we have, that would be kind of funny, though, actually. I'd love that. But we have, they do, these footballs, and they inscribe, their bust onto the football.
Okay.
And we have, a Team Hall of Fame and, a bunch of... probably have, a whole section of him in the Team Hall of Fame.
Facts.
We'll obviously retire number 12. We'll put him in the Ring of Honor. And
is 4 retired?
Yeah, 4's
retired.
I was going to say.
So it's 15, right?
On Thanksgiving against the Bears, and the Bears beat us. Yeah, that was Kyle Long's only time he beat the Bears.
Nice. All right. Well, Jets aren't going to win this game. This is the greatest thing Aaron Rodgers has ever done for me, is make this Jets team pick them up so high that they think that they're going to win a Super Bowl just for them to be 3-8 at week 11 through this season. It's personal for me, if you don't know why. I'm not explaining it to you, but I hate the Jets. Seattle's getting this win. And, yeah, this is the greatest accomplishment in Aaron Rodgers' career for me personally.
Okay.
For you personally, yeah. But
so, so I saw
4 MVPs in a Super Bowl.
So I saw, but this is the greatest accomplishment.
One Super Bowl, 1 ruins Jets season, 2 ruined Jets seasons. I don't know, dude. It might be the greatest accomplishment of all time.
So,
I don't know.
So I will say, there is this theory floating around that this is Aaron Rodgers getting back at the Johnson & Johnson
I saw
family
that.
for all the
Jesus
vaccines.
Lord.
Oh man, if that's the case, that is some top tier
Pettiest move of all
trolling.
time.
Yeah, dude, he's like, I'm gonna take over the franchise. I'm gonna hold them at gunpoint, and I'm gonna ruin their entire
Dude
family
should have just
business.
hosted Jeopardy, bro.
Yeah.
Like, at this point, like, holy shit. He wasn't even good at that either, bro.
No.
Like, get outta
He's
here.
no
He
Ken
was boring as
Jennings.
shit. Yeah, no, he's no Mayim Bialik. Okay.
Oh boy,
He
Who's
even
gonna-
got Colin Jost on the pop culture one. He's no Joesty.
All right, who's gonna keep us moving to this next game?
I'll take us away.
Why not?
Take me away. I got the Tennessee Titans going to Washington Commanders. Commanders have kind of cooled off as of late. Haven't looked great. I mean, that's expected from Jaden Daniels and a rookie quarterback. People are thinking Cliff Kingsbury has hit his wall. It kind of happens at this point throughout the year. Every season, Cliff Kingsbury is coached in the NFL. That's something to look out for. Tennessee played a close game last week. I'm taking Washington, though, at home. They're the better team. Honestly, I really hope they make the playoffs. I think it would be fun to see. I mean, obviously, I'll have to deal with the Jaden Daniels is better than Caleb because they make the playoffs talk, but that's fine. We'll deal with it. I can't tell you the last time I've seen Washington in the playoffs off the top of my head and actually like had faith that they'd win a game and not just been like 8-8 and snuck in. But I'd like to see them make it. Hopefully they win here.
They did look very embarrassing against the Cowboys last week, and the only reason why they came close to even winning the game was from a miraculous play late in the game. Same thing as how they kind of beat the Bears, who we're seeing is kind of not that great of a team this season. Last second play, and that was with the Shane Waldron guy as the coach too. So like, you know, it's definitely a different Bears team from what we have now. I see you nodding your head, Chris. I will preface that, but I know that I'm still gonna rock with the Commanders here. I have no reason not to pick them. I know Tennessee's coming off a weird win against a team that they shouldn't have beat too, which was kind of a miraculous thing too. Kaimi Fairbairn missed the extra point to win them the game, so. Kind of two teams that with like opposite like outcomes of their last week's game kind of missed a game-winning extra point and then one off a missed game-winning extra point.
I'll tell you this.
Kind of weird.
I'll tell you this, bro. Terry's
so
he's
good.
scary, bro.
You know
He's
it's
scary this season, bro.
You know what's scary? I had him in one of my keeper leagues, and I took him over. I took Stephon Diggs over him,
That's just awful.
I entirely regret it. But honestly, I would have tried to keep him, Diggs, and like another guy.
Yeah.
But
Diggs is
that
having
was
a
the
good
stuff.
year.
Yeah, he was having a good year. Then he tore his
His
ACL.
ACL.
Tough keep there. I do not think Washington loses a fourth game in a row. Give me the Washington Commanders. I like what Joey pointed out is that these two teams had like the complete opposite weeks. Like one lost a game it shouldn't have, and then one won a game it shouldn't have. So it's just like, all right, like what's going on here? But yeah, I'm gonna take the Washington Commanders. I think they're the better team. I think Tennessee's gonna put up a good fight. Don't get me wrong. I think they are people who like a team that can go blow for blow with people. But if you have those key playmakers, and I think Washington does, you can separate yourself there at the very end of the game with like guys like Scary Terry. And Brian Robinson, and you can add on to with Zach Ertz. But I'm gonna keep us moving to the first 4:00 game of this Sunday window, and it is the Los Angeles Rams at the New Orleans Saints. Two middle of the pack teams, but the Los Angeles Rams have a little bit more to play for right now, with a game behind the top of the NFC West. So I think they get the win here. I think they try to keep on in this NFC West playoff picture, but. I don't think this New Orleans team is a team that's just gonna like lay over and die for them. So, I do think it's close. The spread is at -2.5 in favor of the road team, the Los Angeles Rams. I would take the Rams spread. So give me at least -3 on the Rams.
Saints are going to play a lot of contenders down the stretch, and they're just going to come through and just spoil a team's.
Facts.
Like they're just going to play spoiler here and there, like. Look, everyone else in their division is pretty decent besides the Panthers. And then, look, the Rams, they could easily make the playoffs too by winning that division because it's so tight. They could just up and spoil their whole entire season off a loss right here. It'd be 5-7 and kind of float to the bottom and not really try to. I don't know. It's going to be hard for them to like even make a wild card team. So they're going to have to hope that Washington loses. It's just going to have to be a lot of hoping for other teams to lose, which kind of sucks. And I really think the Saints are that team that they are still a good team at their core, and they will be able to play spoiler for a lot of teams. I think that I'm going to pick the Rams here, though, but I wouldn't be surprised, like I'm saying, if they spook the Rams and nabbed a W here.
I'm going to take the Rams as well, just to make it easy. They're getting healthier. They've lost a couple games this year just simply because they haven't had their guys out there, I think. If Stafford has Puka and Cooper to throw to, they're winning this game, which he should. Dennis Allen is getting fired at the end of the year. I don't know how many games the Saints really want to win. I don't think Derek Carr is their long-term answer for quarterback. So I don't know how many games you guys want to win. I know I text DJ every week, and he usually cusses me out that I hit him up every time the Saints lose. So maybe he'll hit me up this week if they get a win, but I don't think so. I'm going to take the Rams. I'm going to keep it pushing to another 4 o'clock window game. We got the Tampa Bay Buccaneers going to Carolina to play a divisional matchup game against the Panthers. Tampa is also another team that's in the middle of the season been banged up, slowly but surely getting healthier. I'm a rock with Tampa, even though the Panthers kept it close against the Chiefs last week.
Honestly, I'm going to rock with the Panthers. Psych. Rocking with the Buccaneers here. That's such an easy pick to make. Look, Buccaneers are a great team, and even though they've lost Chris Godwin and Mike Evans, Mike Evans came back, but, they've still been resilient. I love Kate Otten. He's been kind of a joy to watch, especially for, like, the tight end group. Kelsey's not been doing great this year, and Laporta's kind of been, like, hit and miss. So it's kind of good to see, like, guys like Kraft and Kate Otten kind of come out and make something out of nothing here. But, yeah, I'm going to rock with Tampa Bay here. I think this is an easy W for them.
Yeah, you're good. You want to say something else or no?
No, go for
it. Okay. This NFC South playoff picture is kind of wild. Like, separated from top to bottom. I wanted to mention it during the Saints pick because I kind of realized that it came through. But since we're talking about two NFC South teams here, it's only separated by 3 games. Like, the top to bottom. Like, the Panthers could get hot and theoretically win the NFC South, which at the start of the season you would have told me that's unfathomable. But I don't know. I don't know if it's just the performance they had against Kansas City Chiefs. Like, are the Chiefs bad and they just, like, play with whoever they're playing? Or are the Panthers good and they're starting to, like, find things to get, like, the ball rolling? Is Canales, like, finally finding something in Bryce Young? Because if that's the case, then this Carolina Panthers team will get a win here against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers are way too injured right now. And, yes, the return of Mike Evans has helped Baker Mayfield, but it's not enough. You had that, too. You had that dual threat with Chris Godwin and Mike Evans on the outside. Give me the Carolina Panthers. I think they have what it takes to win in this one. Do they have it takes to, like, come back and win the division? I don't think so. But it would be a cool story to follow because, at 3-8, they're only 3 games behind the top seed right now in the 6-5 Atlanta Falcons. So that slide by Atlanta has been very, very costly because all these teams are within 3 games of each other. So let's see if that can be the case. But I'll keep us moving to this big time 425 matchup. We got the Philadelphia Eagles at the Baltimore Ravens. Philly 9-2, looking like the team that everyone's kind of been expecting them to be, but it's not because of Hurts and that passing game. It's mostly because of Saquon Barkley and that running game. I don't know if I forgot to mention it or not, but they're playing the Baltimore Ravens, and the Ravens are no slouch too. And they just won the Harbaugh Bowl, and it's Bro Bowl. It's all coming out too fast.
It was a brawl because they're brothers.
Yeah. This one's tough. I want to see Saquon and this Eagles team run the ball efficiently, but you want to see the same thing on the other side. So is this game going to finish quickly? Is the clock just going to keep running the whole game? That's, like, the one thing that's, like, all right, like, is this game going to be too fast, or are they going to be a little bit past that because they're like, all right, we're playing another top team. Let's see how our passing game is. Let me get the Baltimore Ravens. They're the home team here. I think Philly takes a loss here, unfortunately. But it's going to be a close one. I will take the Baltimore Ravens and their spread. Give me those -3 points for the Baltimore Ravens.
I'm going to do the same thing. Lock me in for the Ravens here. Nothing against the Philadelphia Eagles. They've looked great this year. Saquon Barkley, amazing. 2 touchdowns, 300 yards last game. Fucking incredible. But yeah, give me the Ravens here. I like a lot of what I'm seeing from them.
Well, I was going to rock with the flock, but now you guys are kind of making me want to change this pick.
Rock with the other flock.
I don't know. A lot of people are taking the.
What are we doing?
A lot of people, yeah. This is a good bird bowl. But I really want to take the Ravens. Kodak's handing out turkeys all week long in Pompano down here. Lamar, we got to get you in a Thursday night or Thanksgiving game sometime soon. I really want to fade you guys. I'm going to take clean sweep. We're going to take the Ravens here, all of us together. I'm sure Steve, the owner of this website, too, is with us.
Yeah.
4 picks for the Ravens. 2 very, very similar teams. If you think about it, you have 2 dual threat quarterbacks, and then you have Saquon versus Derrick Henry. 2 decent defenses. Roquan Smith might be out, though, for the Ravens. That's going to be a big loss. Are you pulling up the stats?
We got the NFL animal hierarchy. Vanya, can we really quick go to the wide cam of us all?
Tiger would definitely kick a grizzly bear's ass.
So
number 1 Bears, let's go.
Yeah, so
there's no way that a Bengal tiger wouldn't whoop a grizzly bear.
So for anyone who's just listening, I'll run through the list real quick. Let me know what you guys think. Number 1, we got a bear, so the Chicago Bears. 2, a Bengal tiger, so Bengals number 2. 3, a lion. 4, Jacksonville Jaguar. 5, Panther. 6, a wild horse, which is the Broncos. 7, a ram. 8, a colt, which is a young horse. 9, an eagle. 10, a falcon. 11, osprey, which is a Seahawk. 12 is a raven, and then 13 is a cardinal, and dead last is 14, the Miami Dolphins.
We just need the clip. We just need that 9 through 13 on rotation.
Bro, for real,
yeah. Yeah. So
Keep
the Eagles are the hierarchy in terms of these birds here, but I don't think that's the case in this matchup.
And you're wrong. A Bengal tiger would never beat a grizzly bear in a fight.
Bro, I don't know.
Talking about a 300-pound Bengal tiger going against a 1,000-pound grizzly bear, bro. 800-pound grizzly bear. Come on, no.
Well, hear me
I
out.
watched Discovery.
I'm taking the speed over it.
You know what's funny? They didn't include a bison.
I might be wrong.
They didn't include a
bill?
bison in that one. Yeah,
For a bill? Damn.
Yeah. So I'll keep us moving to this next game while we're at it. We got the
fake list.
the San Francisco 49ers at the Buffalo Bills. Yeah, the Bills, a bison was not included on that list, which is kind of wild because they are an animal. And you could have included the next matchup, a dog for the Cleveland Browns, but.
Damn it.
But yeah, we got the San Francisco 49ers at the Buffalo Bills. It's a big-time matchup. There's been already a lot of snow in Buffalo. And San Fran is just not looking good. Brock Purdy was hurt last game. They did compete with the Packers. Hopefully Joey has a little bit more on that since he watched that from end to end. But I'm going to go with the Buffalo Bills. They're just a better team here. They're coming off the bye. They're coming off a big win against the Kansas City Chiefs. I think Buffalo has the ball rolling in their court right now, and they're just waiting for Kansas City to slip up and so they can cop that number 1 seed. And that's something that Buffalo's been longing for. And let's see if they can finally get it, and maybe the tides turn in this Buffalo franchise and they're actually the team in the AFC to run through. So that's their hopes. And it starts with defeating a team like the San Francisco 49ers. Yes, they're injured, but they are a championship caliber team. So let's see how they fare against each other.
I'm going to take Buffalo as well. Like you mentioned, they're just a better team right now. Obviously, San Fran's been struggling. A lot of talk about the future of this team. A lot of those wide receivers are banged up and on expiring contracts or need new deals. Same with the defense and same with Kyle Shanahan, who I kind of saw a report today might be interested in coaching old Caleb Williams next season, which I would love that. I doubt it'll happen, but you never know. I don't know if he wants to stay another year and try to rebuild around a Brock Purdy. Do you guys really believe in Brock Purdy? Sure, he's decent. He's a good game manager, but I wouldn't want to rebuild and start a team with him. I'm going to take Buffalo. And honestly, throw the 49er on the list, too. Those guys were pretty tough back in the day.
Yeah, but they're not an animal.
I'm sure they fought a couple goddamn animals.
They probably had to take out a bison.
I'm pretty sure a 49er
sure.
had probably had to fight a grizzly bear at a certain point. Listen, Buffalo's probably sitting out here saying, I'm so happy and grateful I got the opportunity to go out here and play in some snow. Because it is going to snow like hell on Sunday night for this game. I'm very excited. I love snowy games. Buffalo's kind of a cool place where it snows very heavy. Like, you always see those videos of the teams leaving when they're just like that mound of snow on top of their truck, or like coming back to their house after a playoff game. It just their car's covered in snow. I think it's going to be similar to that. That's at least just what they're predicting as of right now. Regardless if there was snow on the field or not, I'm rocking with Buffalo. San Francisco, like you said, Chris, there's a lot of question marks going on. They still have a chance to make the playoffs.
Yep.
Crazy enough. I think that they might end up squeaking in there if they get healthy enough. They're like one game behind.
Mm-hmm.
I think that they still play the Seahawks one or two more times. Not sure if they played them. No, they actually, scratch that, reverse it. They've played the Seahawks twice. I know that because I have Debo in fantasy. I know they won the first one. I'm not sure about the second matchup. Did they win or lose that?
They lost the second and won the first.
So-
So they have one more game against the Rams and a game against the Arizona Cardinals. Those are only divisional matchups they have left. They also still have Chicago Bears, Miami Dolphins, and the Detroit Lions on their schedule.
Yeah, they got a tough schedule.
So it's not easy for them down the road, and down the stretch, that last game against the Arizona Cardinals could possibly come down to be the division. But I think it's probably going to come down between the Rams and the Seahawks for that last divisional game for them. But what else you guys got on this matchup? Anything else?
I'm good, man. I think Buffalo's going to whoop their ass just like the Packers did last week.
Well, channel your best Jameis Winston and take us to Monday Night Football.
I'm grateful that Jameis Winston will be playing on Monday Night Football against the Denver Broncos. That was a bad impersonation. I'm sorry about that.
I liked it.
Yeah, I'm not gonna rock with Jameis in the Browns here.
What?
I can't. I think Denver's been doing very well this year at 7-5, despite what everybody thought of them coming into the year. Cleveland is just like a team that. Who hates the Browns right now? Probably a Steelers fan or somebody.
Fans?
You know what I mean? Probably Browns fans are very frustrated with the Browns. I mean, we all hated the Browns with Deshaun Watson there. Now we're just like, oh, yay, Browns. They're kind of fun to watch. They're
Yeah,
like
what a turning of the page.
Yeah, right.
Though.
Most
From
likable,
Deshaun to
most
Jameis.
hateable to the most likable quarterback.
Bro.
Yeah. He's such a nice guy. Like, how can he not? It's like a Disney movie every time he's out there.
Steal all the crab legs you want, dude. Just keep talking.
I like how everyone used to say that. Well, I think they still do that. Jalen Hurts talks in Instagram quotes, captions.
Yeah.
Literally, Jameis Winston thinks in like a monologue. Like it's like I
like
don't
a
even,
preacher.
Yeah, it's I don't even know. It's the funniest thing ever. He's just a joy to watch, but he's not going to get a W here. I'm going with the Broncos.
Yeah, I agree. It's going to be tough for Cleveland to come in and get a win. This defense has been really, really good. Bo Nix is probably going to win Rookie of the Year. Weirdly enough, yeah, he's probably going to end up winning Rookie of the Year, especially if they keep winning and go to 8-5. Despite, I mean, in my opinion, I think they should give it to Caleb for having to play 8 games with Shane Waldron as his OC. But whatever. But yeah, the Broncos are gonna go ahead and win this game. They really benefited from actually having a coach that knows what he's doing in Sean Payton, and I think it shows.
For the sake of going against you guys, I'm going to go with the Cleveland Browns.
Hey!
Give me that W.
Famous Jameis.
Give me that W eating
that white
Jameis
helmet.
Winston. So I don't know, man. The Browns, like with Jameis out there, it's just a different vibe. It's a different energy. He's just slinging the ball around. Like when Watson's out there, he's not trying to make a mistake. He's like, hey, you guys pay me all this money. You know, I think I'm a good quarterback. Like, I don't want to put this team in jeopardy of losing games. Like, Jameis is like, right, the season's already lost. Like, let's have some fun.
Yeah.
So, someone made an edit of like him rushing for that touchdown, and it was with the song of the "There Goes My Hero."
My hero.
Dude, that was just like an ultimate. As he's like spinning around, it's just that's where it hits, man. So that but in reality, man, like Jameis. He brings a different energy to that Cleveland Browns team. I'm not saying that he makes them like a playoff contending team. Like far from it. They're 3-8 in an AFC North that is brutal enough. I do hope they play spoilers for multiple sakes. I think if the Denver Broncos lose here, that definitely helps the Dolphins' case moving forward. But this Broncos team is legit. Like I'm not sliding them. I'm just picking Cleveland for the upset here. That is just me admitting that Denver is a good team here. So let's see what the Browns can do. I think the Denver Broncos may have the rookie of the year, like you guys said. Bo Nix is looking good. That defense is playing very beneficial to them. So those are things to look forward to. And that is the end of a 16-game slate.
No
first,
buys.
Yeah, first time in a while we've had no buys.
After last week too, with
the bipocalypse.
Not for nothing. The Ravens have a week 15 bye.
Yeah.
That's going to be right in the middle of the fantasy playoffs.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think about
That's
that.
not good.
Yeah,
I was looking down the line because I have Derrick Henry in one of my leagues. I'm like, no way. Week 15, I'm cooked.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's been my bell cow.
They did the bye weeks really weird this season. He has a week 14 bye week.
Whatever.
Yeah, week 14.
It's right there.
Mm-hmm. Last week, next week is the last bye week. And it includes 6 teams. Once again, last week was 6 teams. This week, so they're like, "Hey, everyone gets to play on Thanksgiving weekend." It's like, we probably would have rather taken some buys right now, but
yeah, Jesus,
it's a weird one.
Let the guys have Thanksgiving off to eat turkey with their family.
For
I would kill for a buy on Thanksgiving. Are you kidding me? Be like,
couple
dude,
teams,
watch it. Yeah, seriously.
I will say this though. Last week, I think the story of the NFL was special teams play. There were so many kickoffs, returns for touchdowns. We had an onside kick that sent us to overtime. I think it's interesting to look because we had no kickoff returns for like the first 5 weeks or so.
Devontae Turpin. Dude, that was so
And
incredible.
then I think there was 2 from the Commanders in the same game too or something like that.
You guys got a field goal blocked again.
Yeah, we had field goal blocked again. Several teams missed field goals, had field goals
blocked.
I
mean, like I said about the Commanders and the Texans and the
I think
Titans.
this is a big year for special teams, especially with all these new rules. So I think teams are finally starting to figure out how to actually return kicks and stuff. So spices things up.
Took a little bit.
Yeah, there's that, and then there's the studying of how other teams are handling their special team stuff, right?
So 13
they're
weeks now.
they finally got enough stuff together, and even on the field goal blocks, I hate to bring it back to this one, but the Kansas City one that they blocked it against the Denver Broncos in the game-winning one, they knew that this offensive lineman was constantly just getting knocked over and falling, and they're like, we're gonna bum rush this guy, we're gonna send 3 guys at this guy, and that's gonna be our game-winning play, and it ended up being the case. I definitely special teams is a big factor.
If
you got to win in all 3
have
phases.
Met any special teams coordinator, coach, or whatever, it's literally the most important play.
Yeah.
The plays between plays is where we make plays.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you're not fucking lying, bro.
Yeah.
If you score on a kickoff, that's huge, bro. Would that take 10 seconds, bro? We're back.
Yeah.
Or we're in front, or whatever.
That's what sparked one of our drives, too. We took one to, the 40, and it's that's the best field position we'll ever have. So.
Make plays between
Unless
the plays.
the defense makes a turnover, so yeah.
I think the special team coaches get all my respect, all my love, because
Hell yeah.
dude, they're the most enthusiastic guys. They're just everyone overlooks us, but we're probably the most important part of this team.
Shout out Coach Smith, bro.
Yeah.
Pursuit. Always preach that shit.
Yeah, shout out Coach Smith.
And shout out the interim head coach for the Saints right now, Darren Rizzi. He used to be with the Dolphins. He was probably whenever the coaches got fired, he kept on staying there as the special teams coordinator for each and every coach that was running through from Miami for a little bit. And every time his name was brought up, interim head coach Darren Rizzi, is that a possibility?
Yeah.
And I'm happy to see him finally get it with the Saints. And some of the John Harbaugh, he's a special teams coach.
Rich Bisaccia, man.
Yeah. They come around and they can bring a team together. They're definitely more morale and boost type of guys. But I think at the end of the day, most of them are not fit to be the NFL head coaches.
No, but
you understand.
You have your outliers.
Understanding that, understanding
helps.
the game from that side.
And they always have eyes for great kickers or gunners or punters. The freaking Panthers punter this year, Daniel Whelan. Shout out to you, bro. You're averaging 49 yards a punt.
There we go.
That's
Punter's
fucking
our best
awesome,
player on
bro.
our
Yeah,
team.
the ability to flip the field is insane. That's a
is.
number one thing about special teams.
Our punter's the best player on our team, swear to God.
Any last comments about our teams playing on Thanksgiving?
Go back, go. Hope Jordan Love gets his turkey leg.
There we go, Chris.
I hope somebody puts the entire turkey on Eberflus's head.
Throws it in a fire
Because he's
or
a
something?
turkey.
Yeah.
What'd you call him?
Dweeberflus. Yeah,
Yeah, and Lame Waldron and Dweeberflus and
The whole crew.
yeah.
Oh man, I'm hoping for a Dolphins to win on Thanksgiving. I think at least like since I've been alive, this is probably like the first Thanksgiving Dolphins game I've ever really seen. So it'll be cool. Every time we play Dallas in Dallas, I'm like always like scratching claw. I'm like, play Dallas on Thanksgiving. But I'm glad it's against the Packers, so at least we got some friendly competition going on amongst us. And hopefully, you know, Dolphins keep on rolling, get back to 500, and maybe we have a whole different story coming back next week.
Another big scenario for this game, before we leave, if Green Bay wins and Buffalo wins, they clinch the division.
There we go.
And if Green Bay wins and Kansas City wins, they clinch their division.
There we go.
So it's a big game for the AFC playoffs in general.
Facts, for sure. All right, guys, thank you so much for watching. This is Week 13 of NFL Game Picks. And last but not least, happy Thanksgiving. Hope you guys enjoy your time with your family, friends, etc. Make sure your loved ones know that you love them.
Oh.
Hey. Go Pack Go.
Peace out, y'all.